only have 8 minutes, and I have a lot of information to give you guys, so I hope you're ready for it. First, I'm going to ask you a question. How many of you consume Mila daily? Be honest and raise your hands. Yeah, it's just what I thought, less than 50% of the room. So shame on all of you. My #1 goal is to get all of you consuming it every single day, and I think you will know why when we're done with this. The way I was introduced to Mila was about 7.5 years ago. My brothers called me and asked me to take a look at this food. And as Tony said, I'm a blue diamond in the company, but I also have a master's degree in clinical medical sciences, which really just means I really know how to read medical studies. That's really what that means. And so I began to do research because the only thing they really said to me is this food is really high in omega-3s. So here I am, a physician's assistant. I've been practicing medicine, performing surgery, seeing patients for 15 years now. At that point, it was about 8 years, and I thought, omega-3s, what are those? Now, I think that should tell you something. We're not taught nutrition when we're in PA school and medical school. It's really sad, but it's true. At least when I was in school in the 90s, we weren't taught. So I started some research specifically on omega-3s and what they were. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today. But I first want to just start with the fact that Mila, as you've heard today, is a food. It is a food. It's like sweet potatoes, rice, corn, better than all of that, broccoli in a bag, but so much better. And so for that reason alone, you should be consuming it regularly. If you went to the doctor today, and you said, you know, the flu's going around our school, everybody's sick, what do we do? And they say, oh, give them more vitamin C. Go get some vitamin C pills from CVS and start taking that. And your kids start taking some vitamin C, but the neighborhood children, the neighbors across the street, she goes out and buys them a bunch of organic oranges. Who do you think is their body's going to better absorb the vitamin C? Right, the neighbors, right? They're absorbing the food. This is a whole raw food. So I want you to understand that as I go into the 5 main nutrients that make up Mila and what Mila is and why it's so powerful. What is Mila? Mila is a blend of the best chia seeds you can find. And yes, chia seeds are not all created equal. Okay, there are people that have got into the chia seed and omega-3 movement in the United States in the last 10 years, and they grow it in their backyard, and then they take it to the farmer's market. Don't buy that chia. Agricultural studies have actually shown that if chia is not grown 3 degrees north or south of the equator, it does not have high nutritional content. That's important. Guess where ours is grown? The elevation, the precipitation, the climate that's involved with the growing of the seeds is important. That's what you have, a blend of the best seeds when you get our Mila. Okay, what do those seeds have that's so important? Why do we have a blend of different seeds grown in different geographical locations? Because different seeds produce different amounts of nutrients, have different amount of nutrient content in them. So with our Mila, you get 5 very important nutrients. The first is omega-3. Omega-3s by definition, I keep going out, by definition are essential fatty acids. Now let's break that down. Essential. What does that word mean? You have to have it. And this is not Racheal talking. You can go look this up on Wikipedia. Essential means you have to have it. Essential fatty acids we have to have. Our bodies don't function properly without them. We have 3,000 milligrams of omega-3s in a 2 tablespoon serving of Mila. That's a lot of omega-3s. I'm going to read from you straight from the University of Maryland Medical Center what omega-3s do. Research shows that omega-3 fatty acids reduce inflammation and may help lower risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease, cancer, and arthritis. Omega-3 fatty acids are highly concentrated in the brain and appear to be important for cognitive, brain memory and performance, and behavioral function. Symptoms of omega-3 fatty acid deficiency include fatigue, poor memory, dry skin, heart problems, mood swings, or depression, and poor circulation. So as I began doing all of my research, I began to reflect on my own family. And I have to tell you, as soon as I did my research, I stayed up a whole night, I said, send me as much of it as you can. Consuming Mila in our family And this is my own personal testimony. I'm not making any claims. I'm not telling you Mila cures anything. I'm telling you what happened in our own family. And I have to tell you guys, this is about whole living, right? Healthy, clean living. We began to change the way we did a lot of things in our family. My 3-year-old had bowel movements once a week, went to the bathroom and bled. It was awful. We no longer have that problem. My husband, with doom and not great happy feelings, 2008 was a hard year for us financially. My husband owns a construction company. Anybody else struggle in 2008? Raise your hand. You're lying if you don't. Come on, raise your hand. You struggled in 2008. It was a hard year in our house. And months after we started consuming omega-3s on a consistent basis, no more issues with the doom and gloom. Mood changed, happiness, when the financial situation hadn't changed. I lost about 35 pounds. Now this was crazy, you guys. I had just had my second baby. I was with a personal trainer that whole summer, spent $3,000, and I lost 3 pounds. And I was like, I guess I'm just gonna be a big girl for the rest of my life after the second baby. 3 months later, I dropped down to a size 6 after starting using this product daily in my shakes in the morning. And then also was, again, clean, healthy, whole eating. One of the main things that happened with me is, anybody else go to sleep at night and your mind races? If there's any type A's in the room, we tend to have that happen. I started to sleep better. And what is it that Bobby was talking about earlier? Exercise and sleep and nutrition, right? What happens when you start to sleep better? It's just overall improvement. But the biggest thing for me, you guys, we had my sister's son, Bo, was diagnosed with some developmental delays. He was the same age as my 3-year-old, and he wasn't speaking yet. And we were very concerned about him. We met with the pediatrician. We're told that it was likely he would not be in a mainstream public elementary school. And we began to, again, educate ourselves on nutrition. He started consuming our Mila on a kombucha tea, and along with a few other things that we were doing, gluten-free, casein-free diet. And my nephew began speaking that December in full sentences. And he's now in 5th grade in a public elementary school. I'm here because of those few personal family stories. Because my conviction became so great that I knew I had to share it with others. I went to school for 8 years and spent over $100,000 on my education to help people. I began to question how much I was helping people as I was seeing 50 to 60 patients a day. I started to understand the power of what we have, products, and teaching people about clean, whole, healthy living and getting good nutrition in their body. And I began to see that this company lined up with everything I went to school to do. So I'm going to quickly give you some information on Mila and the 5 nutrients in here that you need to know. I've talked about omega-3s. I don't really think I need to say much more about omega-3s. I think you should go Google omega-3s in medical studies tonight, and I think you will be blown away. You need to be consuming them every day. Not only do you need to be consuming them every day, your spouse does, your parents do, and your children do. Do you know what happens to a 70-year-old who's never eaten fish his whole life, and they start consuming omega-3s on a consistent basis? It's pretty mind-boggling. You want to get some testimonies on your team, start giving everybody Mila. 5 nutrients. The second one that I would like to talk about for a moment is fiber. The studies that have been done on fiber, the medical studies, have been documented for decades. No question out there about what fiber does. We have 5 grams of whole raw fiber and 1 2-tablespoon serving of Mila, both soluble and insoluble. Insoluble fiber goes through your intestines like a bottle scrub brush, like a bottle scrub brush, goes into the little villi and the little nooks and crannies in your intestines and cleans the 7 to 9 pounds of out that most Americans have in their intestines. Okay? That's a big deal, right? We women know that's a big deal. That is one thing it does. Fiber makes you feel full. That's nice. Fiber also has been shown to regulate blood sugar. 5 grams of whole raw fiber. We have antioxidants and phytonutrients. This is plant whole raw living food. Autoimmune boosters in Mila, in a serving of Mila. Why is it that some chia that you buy, when you open the bag and let it sit for 2 weeks, it smells rancid and gross? Because there's no antioxidants in it, because it's not grown in the right area. Ours you can leave open for 3 to 4 weeks and there's no rancid smell because there's antioxidants in it. Antioxidants and phytonutrients. And then protein. The 9 essential amino acids that make up protein are in a serving of Mila. There's probably quite a few. Raise your hand if you're a vegan in here. There's probably quite a few vegans in here. You're looking for good sources of protein. Great source of protein. So as I'm closing this up, I think I'm hoping to get across to you the power of Mila. I don't know if have they announced the new price yet of Mila? Okay, I'm not gonna say it. I thought maybe I was supposed to because of the way Tony introduced me. I'm like, oh, do I have to say that? I will tell you this. It's under $1.50 per day. This nutrition is under $1.50 per day. You guys, a bottle of water out there is more than $1.50. You take a serving of Mila in your body and you're getting more nutrition than the average American gets in a week in your body. What is wrong? Consume Mila every day. It has no taste. I actually have my bag of Mila sitting back there with a bottle of water that I meant to bring out and show you how I do it. But I put my Mila in water and I drink it down. Some people put it in coconut milk, almond milk. You can put it in muffins. You can put it in pancakes. You can bake it in bread. You can put it in lasagna. You can put it in spaghetti sauce. Are you getting the idea? I will briefly end by telling you guys that after my nephew, I decided that I was really, really interested in finding out if it was just him that had these kinds of results. I was involved with a small grassroots study with a pediatrician in Gainesville, Florida. We gave 37 children this seed every day for 90 days. I did talk to compliance before I spoke, so I'm allowed to say this, everybody who's wondering. We drew their blood levels before. They were all consuming the best of the best fish oil. Their omega-3 levels were all low, consuming the best of the best fish oil. At the end of the 90 days, and I drove back and forth once a week, every week, to sit with the parents and do studies and get their reviews and their feedback on what was happening with their children. I will tell you at the end of the study, their omega-3 levels were all high. So that was pretty impressive all by itself, but more importantly were what the parents told me. We saw increased focus and concentration with increased omega-3 and fiber in their body. We saw increased focus and concentration, less aggression, better sleep, better bowel movements, more focal skills, more vocalization. You guys, this is crazy. Your kids should be consuming this every single day. It's less than $1.50 per day. It's not the teacher's job to get this in their body. It's not the doctor's job to get this in their body. It's your job. It's your job to spread this news. This is our house. The kids don't know how to take care of their house. They're waiting on us to teach them. This is your house. Feed your house. It's where you're going to live for 70 years. If you're thinking, oh, it's too expensive, $1.50 a day, fine. Go buy some cheaper shoes or cheaper cars, some cheaper curtains. You guys, put the good stuff in your body so that you can be healthy. Okay? So I started sharing it. Here we are 7 years later. I make more than twice what I used to make working 12 hours a day seeing patients. This is life-changing stuff. It's changed my life. It's changed our time freedom. It's changed our finances. I'm not going to cry. It's changed the lives of everyone I know who consumes these products on a regular basis. We are on this earth to make a difference. Please make a difference, you guys. Thank you so much. God bless.